All right, thanks, JC. Well, for those who are just tuning in, we were having some technical issues, so let's go ahead and try this again. I'm joined by the clerk for Alexander County, Zach Price. Again, thank you so much for being here. We're talking about the election day right around the corner. So what are some of the big races locally that you're taking a look at, keeping an eye on?
Locally in my county, we just have the one commissioner race. That's all we have locally. Otherwise, aside from that, it's just your president election and then the Boss and Roberts election we're watching out for. But for our county, just commissioner race. Okay,
and we do want to talk about, voter turnout. How is turnout looking in your county, especially with early voting becoming more and more popular for people?
Yeah, early voting is really popular. I know a lot of other county clerks have taken a big hit this week. Even today, some have taken almost 500 voters in. My county took almost 100 voters in today. It's just a lot of people turning out to early vote. Not so much vote by mail or anything, but I think we're preparing to have a lot of people turn out on election day and the rest of this week. And some of us have polling places open this weekend too. So I plan on Saturday from 8 to 12 to have a big turnout of voters during that time.
So definitely a busy time for you guys.
Yes.
How does your office prepare for this, and are there any last minute preparations that you're doing right now?
Usually it's a hope and a prayer trying to prepare for it, to be honest with you. But this week it's the final crunch week, so we're all getting ready, making sure we have our ballots in. We have our precinct kits, which are supplied with the tools for our election judges who work on election day, all day helping the voters vote. They have the tools in there that they need to make sure voters have the ability to vote. A lot of us county clerks are also getting ready to do our election judge training. I know before I came up here, I did an hour-long one, and I got 2 more classes tomorrow for election judge training. So it's crunch week. We try to prepare, make sure we have everything, and make sure we're ready to get everything set up for election day as well.
And speaking of being prepared, how can voters be prepared when they go to the polls on election day?
Be prepared to probably have a little bit of a wait. I will say to be prepared for voting, call and make sure that you are an active voter and you are registered to vote in the precinct that you're registered in. A lot of us clerks, we are required to do a purge every couple years, which is just cleaning up our voting registration polls from people who may have had a name change, address change, moved, what have you. So we have to send out a card that is non-forwardable to see if we need to make that person inactive. And sometimes through mail, they might become inactive. It's nothing they did wrong, nothing we did wrong, that's just the process. So take the time to call, make sure you're active, make sure that you know you're going to the right polling place. Somebody may have moved just across the street. They may be in a whole new polling precinct now. Call and make sure you're going to the correct place. Be prepared to wait. And you would hate to wait, an hour and a half to vote to find out you're not at the right spot. So take that opportunity to figure out that you're active and where you're active at.
Any last message that you have to voters out there before maybe they go do some early voting or even on election day?
Early voting, no. Election day, mainly just make sure you're active. Call and make sure, where you're supposed to be, that you're active and, stuff like that. Just be prepared to go out and vote and where you need to be.
Well, we definitely thank you for your time and, touching on this topic before Election Day.
Yes, thank you.
And for the latest election coverage, you can always go to our website. That is WSILTV.com. And then click the Your Voice, Your Vote tab from the left drop-down menu. Well, the news continues in just a moment. You're watching News 3 at 6:30.